Well, it's almost hard to believe that this Sunday marks a decade since the worst terror attack in our nation's history.
You know, I remember exactly where I was, exactly what I was doing, exactly the people who were with me, and so many people kind of have those same feelings, like it's a flashback. Well, it's one of the moments for our generation where, you know, we do remember, we reflect, and we take a look back. But of course, it's also a time to look back, reflect, and honor those who died.
Yeah, West Michigan is one of 16 communities across the country setting up a healing field to mark each and every person who died on September 11th.
Volunteers are working to put together 3,200 flags that will be set up at Cannnonsburg ski area starting tomorrow. We actually had the chance to talk to 2 people behind the effort. Okay, the Cannnonsburg ski area during the wintertime, of course, this is a place where all of us love to come and have winter fun. During the summer, we like to listen to concerts here, but for the September 11th tribute and memorial, this is going to be a special area, almost like a hallowed ground. We're here with Sue Bodenner. You're the chairperson of the West Michigan Healing Fields. Tell us what that means.
Well, it means that we'll be raising 3,200 flags, each with the name of a victim from 9/11, and people will be able to come visit here and walk through the flags, read the bios. They'll have a visual sense of what losing 3,000 people means.
It's been painstaking work, really, for you to make sure that you get all of that information correct and to assemble those flags. Kind of describe the process that your volunteers have been going through and getting all of this together.
Well, we have a great volunteer committee that has been planning and working on the program of what will happen each day. And we've had, you know, the concepts of how to present this and how to have the interaction. They were able to put together the flags onto the poles and prepare them so that they could be set up. And it took about 5 minutes for each flag. And I think that the volunteers, you know, could see if each of these 8-foot poles represents a person, and it's taken us 5 minutes to get it prepared, it does give you a little better sense of what 3,000 means.
Well, we're here with Art Johnson. You are the honorary chair of the Healing Field of West Michigan and also the CEO of United Bank, where actually people can step forward, sponsor one of these flags, and really help to support first responders across our community.
It's really true. Any United Bank branch throughout West Michigan, you can stop in, purchase, sponsor one of these flags that you'll be able to take home or have sent to you after the event. And the profits from these flag sales will go back to first responders here in West Michigan.
And when you think about that, is that part of the reason why it was important to bring the healing field here to remember, to reflect, to pay tribute?
Yes, over the last 10 years in doing patriotic things at our Home for the Elder community in Rockford, you know, we've talked about 9/11 in numerous ways and people's reaction to it. And the fact that really struck me that people are still healing, that they're still trying to make sense of it, that they're wanting to still feel like they did something about it or had some sort of engagement with it. You know, if they didn't have a loved one lost or didn't have a friend lost, that doesn't mean that they didn't have an impact.
We still grieved as a country.
We still grieved as a country.
Here in West Michigan, if we have the opportunity to both remember and heal from the events of 9/11 and also do some good into our communities and create opportunities for our first responders to have more and better equipment and ongoing training so that they can do their jobs better, that's a wonderful combination.
So tell us about the survivor tree, because it's really almost very fitting here because we have a tree in the middle of this otherwise very plain landscape out here.
Yes, when the Twin Towers fell, the image that we've all seen, you wouldn't think anything survived, but there was a survivor tree, and they transplanted it to a nursery that's nurtured it. And last spring it was moved back to the landscape of the Twin Tower, where the footprint and the memorial and everything will be. And during that time there was a children's story written about the survivor tree, and so it'll be read to children of West Michigan that come out on Monday and Tuesday. There'll be someone under that tree reading them the story.
Under that tree, all about the symbolism,
yes,
the visual, the connection. West Michigan Healing Fields, remembering, reflecting, and paying tribute for September 11th. You know, it's interesting, all the emotions. Sue and her husband, interestingly, their son is in the military, and she said that after September 11th, she got an even more heightened sense of patriotism, and anytime she was someplace where she saw an American flag or a celebration or some kind of a memorial going on, she felt like she had to get more information about that. And so she found out about this Healing Fields and decided to really research it. And part of the criteria for being chosen is you have to be accessible to the public, you have to be able to be opened for 24 hours a day through the 5 days of the Healing Field, which will start on Friday and will end on Tuesday through the entire observation. And you have to be available to have some sort of a fitting memorial. And it just struck me that Cannnonsburg, just standing at the base of that hill and looking up, it's the size of 2 football fields, that each one of those 8-foot flags will be spaced apart. It's almost hard to even visualize what that is going to look like.
I think it will really drive home how many people did lose their lives. I mean, we were even talking as a story, and I was talking about the documentary that I saw, the 2 foreign journalists that went in, and they were actually shadowing a fire crew that day that had responded. And it's an excellent documentary. But the emotions run so deep from that, and I just think about sometimes about people like my kids will never know what that was like to experience that day, and it still just is very emotional for everybody.
Oh yeah.
10 years later.
10 years later, and you know, and it's interesting, even the kids that are a little bit older, our intern Ashley, for example, she's 21 years old. She said, I was 11 years old, and she said, I really don't remember much. She said, I remember everybody was quiet. We went home from school early. The adults seemed very shocked. And, you know, even those kids that were in elementary school and junior high at that time, a lot of them don't. So all of these observations, all of these memorials are so important to put into perspective the terrorist attack on America for this next generation of kids who really need to remember. We need to remember. We need to observe. We need to honor those who died, and we need to make sure that something like this never happens again.
Yeah, absolutely. And the flags will be put up starting tomorrow morning. Volunteers, including about 100 Rockford High School students, will be staking the 3,200 flags. The name of each victim will be read aloud during a special ceremony.
And it's interesting, that ceremony, many of the radio stations in West Michigan have also partnered with this presentation to read the names, so they have professionals who can clearly enunciate. It'll be just a beautiful ceremony. On Saturday, there's a salute to heroes starting at 10 o'clock in the morning, a program to honor rescue personnel and first responders in West Michigan. Then Sunday, September 11th, there'll be 4 moments of silence starting at 8:46, commemorating the time the first plane flew into the World Trade Center.
At noon, they're holding a special memorial service to honor the victims of September 11th, and Friday night, 24-hour Newsday will bring you our special tribute to the lives lost a decade ago. It will be live from the Healing Field at Cannnonsburg.
It starts Friday night at 7. We'll also be streaming that special report live at woodtv.com, and that's definitely one you're going to want to set your DVR so you can go back and watch it, because so many of those compelling stories and so many people personally touched even here in West Michigan.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Okay, changing gears here. It is so good to be back, and we're just getting started here today. So we have got so much coming up on 8 West, especially if you've got some fall planting to do. This might be the perfect weekend, so we're heading over to Harder and Warner Landscaping and Garden Center to talk about why fall is such a great time of year to plant. Plus, they've got some terrific deals on everything that grows.
And as we head into fall, it's time to make another switch in your wardrobe without breaking the bank. So we sent our own Jordan Carson to Forever Forever 21 at the Crossroads Mall to find out what the hottest new trends are heading into the fall season.
So exciting. Also today, so much of our world depends on technology, even as we age and retire. Our retirement experts at Beacon Hill at Eastgate are a great example of using technology to help the residents and patients while making sure they're connected to friends and family around the country.
That's right. It's about fun, it's about education, and it's about safety, too. It's great.
Sure.
I love Beacon Hill. How old do we have to be to move in there?
I know. I'm counting the days.
Me too. A great reason to get older, right? So stay with us. We'll be right back.
Your all-access pass to everything West Michigan.